Well, I am Shanghaied in Shanghai. I'm sitting in a quite nice hotel room in somewhere in Shanghai. I believe the name of the hotel is let's see, I've got it written down. The Jutel, Jutel Reunion Hotel, wherever that is. It was about a 40-minute bus ride from Pudong Shanghai International Airport last night, or early this morning, about 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know where to start. Typhoon Rosita hit the Philippines yesterday and caused a lot of havoc, and including flight delays and cancellations. My flight was affected, so my China Eastern Airlines flight from Manila to Shanghai was severely delayed. When I first got to the airport, I thought it was canceled because the signboard read canceled, and that gave me a sinking feeling, wow. But anyway, long story short, I found out it was delayed. Instead of leaving at 6 in the morning, it was now going to leave about 9 at night. And so I spent a day at the airport. I got chummy with some seatmates, not friends, but acquaintances that I'd made there waiting for the same flight. All of us in the same boat, including the fact that we had connections beyond Shanghai, and that was our big concern. Now, when we finally departed, and it was a long day, but anyway, I'll spare you the details of that. When we finally departed Manila last night, China Eastern Airlines personnel told us that all our connecting information would be given to us at the transfer desk in Shanghai upon arrival. So that's what we were pinning our hopes on. In the boarding area, I was hoping actually that the China Eastern people themselves would be able to tell us what was going on individually, as far as our connecting flights went. And since they didn't, when in the boarding area waiting for the flight, I got in touch with Expedia, and through which I had booked everything, and got them to confirm my Shanghai Honolulu flight. Actually, the same flight I was going to take on Tuesday now would be on Thursday, 2 days later. But at least I knew what I had. And officially, China Eastern hadn't told us anything yet. So anyway, we take the flight. It's about a 3.5, 4-hour flight, Manila-Shanghai. I slept the whole way. I was beat. Get to Shanghai. We deplane on one of those stair things, and walk the tarmac to the to the terminal. That was actually kind of cool, since you don't do that much these days. We get to, I think the very first thing was actually, before immigrations, before anything, they took us to the transfer desk. That was going to give us the answer that we all sought, right? Transfer information, our connecting flights. They gave us, each individually, what appeared to be a blank piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper, that had a date on it, in my case, 01 November, and HNL, Honolulu. So a date and destination, and that was about it. Not what we were expecting, so we were a bit nervous. I knew my information, but nobody had told me that officially, so we were a bit concerned. Anyway, after that, off to a fingerprinting station. We've got this gizmo that takes your fingerprints, thumbprints, and all that. On to immigration, fairly routine, like immigration in most cities, most airports. Okay, and then some folks had to pick up baggage. They had anything they checked in Manila, they had to pick up. And now we're following this guy with a flag through the terminal even, and we're actually at this point we're in the arrivals area. We're in China. We're outside of the secure area, so we're in China, and all I should say, we did each, or at least I know I got a temporary visa at immigration, like a 24, 48-hour visa, something like that. Something that will allow me later today to go do some sightseeing. But that, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. All right, so we're following this guy with a flag, and we kind of figure out that they provided accommodations, and this guy is going to take us probably to ground transportation, bus, whatever, that's going to get us to this hotel. And that's in fact what happened. Again, when we're like sheep, we're just following this guy. We still officially have not been told, not been given our connecting information, but we're going with the flow. And I did this, I got myself into this situation purposely. While I was sitting during the delay in Manila, I got to talking and chatting with some seatmates. And instead of, now I had backed myself up with the Philippine Airlines nonstop Manila Honolulu, and instead of doing that, I decided, okay, I'm going to go with the flow. Let's see what happens. Let's make it into an adventure, knowing and expecting that there would be a layover, a serious layover that would give us time to check out the city, check out Shanghai. So I said, hell, let's, travel can be an adventure, should be an adventure. Let's do it. Anyway, I convinced myself. So that's why I'm here. So we're on the bus, and it's on its way. Get to the airport. Get to the hotel. Now we're all in the lobby in a line, waiting our turn to get a room. And one fellow notices with the lighting in the hotel lobby, that piece of paper, he could read the print on it finally. The printing, the ink or whatever, was so faint you couldn't see it back at the airport with all that harsh lighting. You could only see what was handwritten in ink by pen, which in my case was a date, 01 November, and HNL, Honolulu, my destination. In the hotel lighting, in the hotel lobby, we could see now a printout that each of us got with our name, the flight information, the connecting flight information, basically what we needed, and what we wanted to know. So they gave us the information, we just didn't know it, couldn't see it. The language barrier was a large part of miscommunication, misunderstanding, and on our part, a lot of anxiety. Oh man. Whew. So at least we're reassured, we were comforted by the fact that we knew, what we had. We had flights confirmed, and they were taking care of us, got us accommodations. They really were taking care of us. It just was difficult for them to communicate that they were taking care of us because of the language barrier. In the hotel lobby, the receptionists were using some kind of a translator app to just get back and forth basic communication. I mean, basic, fundamental. But it was enough to secure the room and all that. This morning they called me down, got me up about 10:30 or something like that. I was in a deep sleep, and the phone rang, and it was the lobby telling me transportation is ready to go to the airport. Transportation is ready to go to the airport. I think she was actually, she spoke it in Chinese into the app, the phone app, and she had the phone app on speaker, and it was, the translator app was telling me my transportation was ready to the airport. Well, my flight's not till tomorrow. Today is Wednesday the 31st. Tomorrow, the 01 November, that's my flight. So I went downstairs, and long story short, again with the translator app, explained to the reception, hotel reception, that yeah, in my case, my flight is tomorrow. There are, I think, 3 other parties with the same schedule, so they'll tomorrow call us to let us know transportation is ready to go to the airport. Interesting. Did I mention that I don't have my passport? I forget. If I didn't mention it, I'll say it now. I don't have my passport. The hotel lobby last night when we checked in, they took our passports. Now that I've never experienced before, and you know, when you travel abroad, your passport is like very important, more important than almost anything else, more important than cash, more important than your credit card. Your passport is your life when you travel, you know, internationally. So got a lot of trust there. I did see it this morning when I was explaining to to the reception gal that my flight is tomorrow, not today. So I saw my passport with a piece of paper and 01 November written on it with a rubber band, you know, holding that to the passport. I don't even think they know my name. I don't think the hotel actually has a record of my name. I think I've been given a name or a room, and in their system it's just like a generic China Eastern, you know, passenger. Kind of that kind of identification, I think. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! What next? So, yeah, the room itself here, I'll do a separate video. It's actually it's quite nice. They provide simple amenities, bottled water. My throat's been bothering me. So always happens when I go to the Philippines. The air quality there, not the greatest. And I was even wearing my mask for a lot of the time, especially when I was outdoors. And still, that air gets to you, and you feel it in your throat. 2 weeks, you start to feel it. Well, I'm going to try to hit check out the rail system. They have an excellent rail system in Shanghai. I think comparable to Bangkok. So I'm going to see what I can today. Don't want to go too far. But here we are. No passport. Life is interesting. Life is an adventure. Let's see what else happens today.